everybody. Welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name's Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here. Channel 59.3 BPOD TV and Roku. Two big stories we're going to break down today. Anthony Miller. There's new news about him and why it didn't work out here in Chicago. Plus, Tom Thayer has some comments on Matt Nagy. If you really want to hear them, this all comes up in just a moment. Before we get started, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. You can watch more of this show. Search up Sports Talk Chicago, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and sportstalkchicago.com. You can watch more of this show and more shows from the VPOD TV network. Search up VPOD TV on YouTube. I want to start today with this. Learning is always important. Sounds pretty cliche, pretty obvious, but if you're not learning, you're falling behind, right? You're not making an effort each and every day to get better at something. Whether it be personal or work-related, you're falling behind. You're not getting better. You're regressing. And eventually, if you're regressing too much, you're going to be fired. You're going to be out of a job. You're going to be useless to everybody. Just how it works. Look at how many players the Bears have cycled through over the years for regression. Shea McClellan. Kevin White, well, he regressed already, right off the bat. There's so many guys we could name who were up for a little bit and eventually came crashing down. People who got worse over time and had to go, whether it was their fault or through no fault of their own. Jordan Howard regressed, but it wasn't necessarily his fault. It was the offense that was put into play. And it was Matt Nagy and his reluctance to use Montgomery. Allen Robinson, same thing last year. Clear regression. Was it actually his fault, though? No. Matt Nagy sabotaged him. In some cases, though, especially with recent memory players on the Bears, regression was caused by personal choice. Regression was caused by an unwillingness to learn more, to get better. And at the end of the day, these players that we're talking about are out of a job. One in particular that I really want to profile is Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller's career is just complicated, to say the least. The Bears obviously drafted him as a second-round wide receiver. He was supposed to be something spectacular for this Bears team, something that could anchor and help out Mitch Trubisky, and even Justin Fields, too. It didn't work. Miller had a good rookie year. He consistently got worse and worse. He dropped more footballs. He had more issues on and off the field, could not control his temper. Team cancer on the gridiron. All of this eventually led to the Bears getting rid of him and sending him off to Houston. According to a story by Eric Lambert on Sports Mockery, though, there's some more news about why it didn't work for Anthony Miller. And this is also a quote from Dan Pompei from The Athletic. Quote, "Not much was expected of Darnell Mooney as a rookie, as Robinson and Anthony Miller, a second-round pick the year before, were supposed to be the producers. But as Anthony Miller drifted through meetings, Mooney kept raising his hand and asking pertinent questions. He started playing split end and took it upon himself to learn all three receiver spots. His diligence was rewarded with 9 starts and 61 receptions, a Bears rookie record. What's more, he won the respect of his teammates as they voted him the winner of the Piccolo Award." That was a quote from Dan Pompei. Darnell Mooney cared about learning. That's why Darnell Mooney, more than anything, is a successful NFL wide receiver. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's a number 1. We've gone through this debate back and forth. But Darnell Mooney is a solid number 2, a definite, more than definite number 3. A number 3 would be underrating him. He's a very good wide receiver. As a 5th-round pick, how do you explain it? Because he gives a damn about what he does. He gives a damn about his work. He cares. He asks questions. He's curious. He's not a static player. Oh, I'm only going to play here, and that's it. I know nothing else. Nope, he learned all 3 positions on purpose in case he was needed. All he tried to do was get on the field, and it worked. You gotta love that mindset. I love players like that. When I used to play baseball, you'd see some players, they'd play every position. They didn't care. Coach would tell them, hey, you play third base? I guess I do now. Let's get going. Here we go. Right? You learn it. Whatever you can do to get into the game, you do. You learn. You get better. At the end of the day, it's only going to help rather than hurt. I love that mentality. That is Darnell Mooney. Here is Anthony Miller. I'm not going to learn. I'm going to be lazy. I don't give a damn about my work. I'm going to drift through meetings, whatever that means, probably sleeping through some of these things. And when I get on the field, I'm going to play a lot, but I can't even catch the football. I have butterfingers. That's Anthony Miller. And that's why he didn't work. There was a report that Anthony Miller was sabotaged by Matt Nagy. While I don't doubt it, it was not at the level of Mitch Trubisky, Allen Robinson, Jordan Howard. Not even close. At least those guys gave it their all, actually cared. Anthony Miller did not. And he was rewarded for that effort by being shipped out. Lambert went on to say, quote, when it came to studying film and fine-tuning his route running, Miller didn't cut the mustard. That would explain why the coaching staff grew increasingly frustrated with him by the start of 2020, and it also explains why Darnell Mooney surpassed him so quickly in the wide receiver hierarchy. There you go. The coaches actually trusted Mooney more than Miller, and Mooney was a fifth-round pick in his rookie year. Miller was a second-round pick in his third year. But they trusted Mooney more. Why? They knew he was willing to work and understand all play concepts. He actually cared. He tried. I don't get it. Maybe I'm ignorant sometimes. Why not just try? What's the downside in learning more when you're a National Football League player? What bad thing is going to happen by trying to be a little bit better? Not even a lot. You don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be Tom Brady. Why not be a middle-of-the-road quarterback who could do something? Same with wide receiver. You don't have to be an Antonio Brown in his prime, a Jerry Rice. You don't have to be that. You could just be fine. I would have taken Anthony Miller getting 750, 800 yards a year. That would have been great. Fine by me. Second-round pick, not going to be a number one. I'm okay with that. But he didn't even do that. And now we have proof and evidence that he didn't even care to try to get better over time. He used what it looks like to me is his pedigree being a second-round pick, and it didn't work. That's a problem some of these athletes face once they make it to the big stage. They succeed in high school, pee-wee ball, college. Why? They're physically more gifted than their opposition. When you make it, though, to the NFL or MLB, NBA, that goes out the window. Physicality does not matter as much, if at all. What matters is, are you willing to put in the work? You're facing other real athletes now. Everybody's even physically. Everybody's the same. What's going to put you apart? What's going to set you apart? Hard work. Knowing plays. Mentally. Being ready. First one in, last one out. That's how it works. Anthony Miller did none of that. And by the way, that's not only an indictment on him. That's an indictment on Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. Crappy draft choice. Know the psyche of the players you're taking. Simple. I wish Miller nothing but the best. I mean, maybe he could do something this upcoming season. Maybe he could change his ways, but he did nothing really last year, anything of significance. I don't expect the tide just to change for him. His choice. He dug his grave, now he has to lay in it. It's unfortunate because it's a waste of talent. He was, and still very much is, talented. But mentally, he's not there. He does not have the mentality to be a quality NFL wide receiver. It's unfortunate because it's a huge waste of talent. But at the end of the day, mentality means everything. Wanting to learn, having a desire to get better means everything. And for Miller, That's certainly not the case, and now we know more about why he failed here in Chicago.